Hello, ladies and gents. We are back. So, we are going to jump right back in to the business of race. Ooh, this one could be a little tricky. So, with this, what has been an offensive thing someone of another race has said to you, but they may or may not realize it's offensive? What did you do? Like, how was your reaction to that? Or on a constant day-to-day basis, like, how do you react to, other races? Maybe they use the N-word when they're not supposed to, or, just people in general just using certain terms that they're not supposed to use.
Well, one thing you said, like in general, I know that a lot of people use when they're singing rap songs. You see a white person and they say that, and they're like, "I gotta say it because this is." I said, "No, you don't. You don't have to say it." I don't even like there's like a lot of terms I don't even like people saying, but I've noticed that it's mostly with music. But one thing that was offensive to me was there was this white lady, they be looking at you. Everybody want to be racist, but they love us when we're on the field or when we're entertaining them or dancing. They love that stuff. They love
monkey dance.
It's like we're a pony. They like to get on us when they like us and then get off when it comes to like social issues. Mm-hmm. And she came up to me and she said, "Oh my God, can I?" Because sometimes my hair be laying down sometimes. And she said, I just noticed your hair like lays really down and everything. Is it a permanent thing? I was like, no. I said, this is just juices and berries. She said, can I touch your hair? And I said, hell no, this ain't no petting zoo. I mean, you're not touching my hair. It's just like, but I've noticed a lot of black women go through that, and just to see that she came to me like, it's just like, no, it's just like we're like entertainment for them. Let me touch your hair. Let me pet you. No, I'm not a puppy or anything. Like, you're not going to do that.
Even the children, I've seen white women walk up and try to caress a black child. What are you petting my child? Like
it's a zoo or something.
Yes, but I haven't had any experiences that come to mind where they've said anything offensive, but the looks or just the way that they I think it's admiration most of the time. They just don't know how to say it or convey it. So they just give looks. And I'll be like, I stare back.
Awkward, right.
And I've had some of them be like, oh, I just wanted to say your hair looks nice. They will say it eventually, but only if they feel pressured into saying it. Otherwise, they'll just sit there and
just look at you and it's so uncomfortable.
Some bold and try to, oh, your skin is so pretty. And they will try to do this shit. And then when they see my body language, it's like, what the fuck? Then they'll come I just want to say,
and has it only been white?
Generally, yes, because they're audacious. I feel like no other race is as audacious as white people. Right. And I do think some of it is admiration. There are some, of course, racist white people who just do feel like we're just entertainment or a certain whatever. Mm-hmm. But I do feel like most times admiration, they just don't know what to do with that admiration. Other races, they're kind of vocal. Mm-hmm. And they'll just be like, oh, you look pretty today. Oh, your dress is nice. Oh, your hair is good. Whatever. They're not so vocal. And I do feel like maybe they feel like that it's odd when it comes from them sometimes. Mm-hmm. Because there is sometimes white people, it's hard to gauge their intentions and they might want to say something, but they don't want to say the wrong thing. Mm-hmm. Sometimes their compliments can be taken out of context or taken wrongly, so they don't say anything at all. I've seen that happen. But as if a Hispanic woman came up to me, there's really not too many ways that she can say something offensive. It's just that history isn't there of Hispanic people being offensive. So they can just say whatever. Mm-hmm. White people, they feel like sometimes they have to tread a line, I think, so they just don't say anything.
So my family and I migrated from Mexico, and the second year, so we came here to California, LA first.
First, what's your ethnic background?
So I'm Mexican and Cuban, but I was born in Mexico.
So you're Muban.
Cuban mix.
Cuban mix.
So we moved, the first year we lived in LA and we moved to Arizona. My mom got a job as a babysitter, and I went to a all-white school in Arizona, Gilbert, Arizona. And I remember not knowing the language and, playing around, and I don't know what I did to get this kid upset. Mind you, he was white, half black, and he called me a wetback. And I didn't know, and Arizona is very close to the border, so those are the things that you hear at home.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't know what that even meant otherwise.
Right.
I didn't even know what that meant because one, I didn't speak the language, but two, it was I've never heard that term before. It wasn't until I was in my teenage years that I realized what he had called me. Like a few
Oh,
years
so
after.
you were a teenager and your shit reverted back like, oh no, the fuck little Timmy didn't.
You should have dropped him right there.
I told you I would drop you where you stand.
Right. So that was my first experience being or a racist experience with someone towards me. But as I got older and my circle of friends started becoming more of color, from the outside I started seeing more and noticing more of how
They were
Black
treated?
people, yes, are treated. And I can pass by many different people. Sometimes I think that I'm Armenian, they do think I'm Mexican, or sometimes Cubans, depending on my hair.
Right.
But I had an experience when I was dating someone and they were living in my house because I was renting a room, and I had to kick them out because they were just plain crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have the text message. He called me an N lover, and that was another experience that I had.
What was his ethnic background?
He was Latino.
And that's what's funny when you have somebody that hop their ass across the border, have the issue with Black people moving to Black people's neighborhoods, suck up our resources so they can sit there and send shit back to their family. It's mostly a lot of Guatemalans and Salvadorians that Black people have like a lot of issues with, because they also have issues with Mexicans as well. Mm-hmm. And that just bothers me. Hop your ass right back across the border, take that shit right back over there. The United States has enough issues as is for you to be bringing your racist ass over here, sucking up resources and causing more issues.
And why do y'all even want to be here, first of all?
Okay, just to
I don't want to be here.
Drama.
But they have a lot of issues within our own community, because I'm starting to learn more about Hispanic backgrounds and different cultures from South America. They have a lot of colorism issues.
They do.
Yes.
So
yeah.
That's learned behavior. They've even been taught from a young age that darker skinned people are beneath them, and if they're darker skinned, they've been treated. And it's not an excuse at all. But I'm just saying it's starting to make sense why even some South American people are racist towards Black people. Because at first I'm just where is that coming from? They look at y'all just as low as they look at us.
Right.
People of color, well, not as low, but people that are of a Hispanic background or South American culture, you don't get treated like white people. You don't get to walk around privileged. You're not privileged as white people. So where is this air coming from? You're not better.
It's this thing of separation. I've noticed this a lot with the Asian community. If you notice, a lot of them, even at work, I don't want to get associated with Black or Latino.
But you don't get white privilege.
They don't.
That just as another. You're not inferior, but in their eyes, you're not like them. So,
and what's funny about that is me being from Kansas. I tell people, and this was funny. It was this Latino dude. Everything and you white folks out there, they say what the fuck they have to say. They are not. I mean, because they're in a very Republican community and stuff, and it's conservative, and they say all types of racist stuff. They say it's subliminal. So it was this Mexican dude, and he kept saying. They kept saying, burrito jokes and all this stuff. She wraps her, she's like a nice taco, or, just stuff like this, all types of stuff. And he was like, I don't do that. I'm a white Latino. I don't say that. I'm a white Latino. And this guy, he said it so much, this white guy said, let me tell you something. If Trump sit here and tell me that you're bringing over drugs, you're raping our women, you're taking our jobs, I will deport your white Latino ass back there, just like with the rest of them. He said, you are a guest to the party. You can always be an uninvited. And that's when he said that, and everybody was there, and I was like, so they can uninvite Irish, they can uninvite Jews from white. You are a guest.
You're not a white American.
Exactly. And that's what I think people need to get. Mm-hmm. And that's why when I see Asian people do that, I'm like, so as soon as they turn on you, I don't want you to bring your ass over here. Because that's what the Latino tried to do. Yeah. And I said, no, and everybody's like, because he didn't come to work for a week. And so he tried to come back over to hang with the minorities. I said, no. You could take your white Latino ass right back over there. I don't want you over here.
But I don't want no mistake. People of color and Black people are not the same thing.
Correct.
It's not.
So
and then
that differentiation,
right. And isn't there something called? I think I'm asking you this question because in the LatinX community, there's something called purifying the race or something like that.
So there's and I can speak only from my experience in Mexico, there's the indigenous population, especially in the state of Oaxaca, which is where I was born. Mm-hmm. There's the indigenous population is very large, but because it's been colonized, Mexico's been colonized. A lot of people of European descent are lighter skinned, a little taller, and whatnot. So they look at the indigenous population as if they were less, and so the indigenous population started getting that indoctrination of not being enough. So they always try to be lighter. And I think that's where that internalized racism kind of stems from, because you've been taught that you're not good enough, your skin color is not good enough, that you're short. So every time I tell people I'm from Oaxaca and they're Mexican people who I've shared my ethnicity with, and I say, oh, I'm from Oaxaca, they look at me like, you don't look like from Oaxaca, because Oaxaca people are like short and dark skinned. You know what I mean? So they already have
That's the Cuban side coming out.
No.
But before we wrap this up, though, I will say this. I think that you see that a lot of communities with this ethnic cleansing, because just be fair to Asian people, I have a few Asian friends. I'm also talking to an Asian right now. Hey, but they said the same thing with them. It's always this thing about the indigenous people, the people that's like pure Asian, that's like stay in these communities that they hate, and I don't know what that's about. So we might talk about that on another episode.
Yes, we will. This is an issue that is ongoing, so we will be coming back to the business of race.
Yes.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you're enjoying the show, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you can not only be a part of the conversation, but you will also be in the know when we upload new content. Love and light to you all.